Hey there, this is K4A, Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. Today I will try to explain how and when you can use Set Instance Alpha GML Visual drag and drop block. This block is controlling the alpha, the transparency of object instance on the screen. That means how visible or invisible the image will be, transparent, semi-transparent, and so on. So let's see that in action. This should be very fast. I will use OBJ coin for this example, and as you can see, if I start the game, we can see the coins on the screen. These yellow circles, they are drawn on the screen with the full image, with the full color. Sometimes you will want some of those images, some of those objects instances to be like see-through, like half drawn on the screen, see-through like ghosts, and that's when you want to change your transparency or alpha. Sometimes it's called alpha, sometimes transparency. It depends on a game engine or software you use. You can find that button, that drag and drop block, in instances group of blocks, and that is this Set Instance Alpha. And you can see in this description it says set the transparency 0 to 1 of an instance sprite, so it changes the sprite look, instance sprite on the screen. That means image sprite is image, and you can see that it goes from 0 to 1. That's what I was explaining in some of previous lessons, that some of those parameters for some of blocks can go from 0 to 1, some from 0 to 100, sorry, and it depends on blocks. So you sometimes you can test it, sometimes you will get that in description. So this one is controlled from 0 to 1. I will drag and drop it here, and by default it says alpha is 1. So if I start the game again and test it, and alpha is 1, that means 100%. So my coin object instance on the screen, image of it, sprite of it, is fully visible. So when I go with 0 instead, alpha 0, and now it will be invisible. So again, sometimes you will yeah, it's interesting how we can see that these coins are still active on the screen, because I can see the numbers below them. 14, this is the number below the coin, and when I go over it, my score will go up by 5, and same here, and so on. So these instances are drawn on the screen. They are active on the screen, but they are just invisible. And let me try. So we have seen that you can go from 0 to 1, but you don't have to go with the full numbers 0, 1, and so on. You can go with some different values between 0 and 1, like 0.25, 0.5, and so on. So I will go with 0.25 just to show you how now it will be like a ghost effect, like semi-transparent. Yeah, you can see it's only showing a little bit. 0.5 will be 50%, halfway between visibility and invisibility. So again, it's a very specific block and feature. You won't use it a lot in your games. Maybe sometimes when you want something to disappear from the screen, or show up on the screen, or something like that. And again, it depends where you put this block. I have put this block in my create event because I wanted, here is the create event, because I wanted it to show me instant result only once. I will now disable it, and I will now show you the difference, how it will behave differently when you use the step event instead. So same block, I need the same block, set instance alpha, but this time in sorry, step event. Yeah, so what do I want to do now? I want my coins to start as invisible and then to fade in, like show up on the screen. You can use that like effect for some enemies or pickups or portals, I don't know, whatever you need in your game. So I need my code to work in step event because that event is a loop event. It runs frames per second, like 60 times per second. So this effect will change in time, and I want that effect to change, that means relative, that will change and add on previous. So I want to add like very small amount. So if I start, for example, with 0.25, it will be too fast, so you won't notice that. I think so. Yeah, it's even you don't even see that effect. It's very fast because GameMaker runs 30 or 60 times per second, so I have to go with really low, like maybe 0.5, and now it should fade in, like from invisible to visible, maybe even lower. Yeah, even lower probably. I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Let me see. Yeah, my bad. I have first to say when my game starts, I want my coin to be invisible. So when create event runs when the game starts, so I want my alpha to be, I will enable set instance alpha, but I will say it's 0, okay, and then in step event I will push it with 0.05. No, it's still not working, so okay, I will disable this one to see. Okay, it's invisible, that one works. So is it possible that I have to go even lower like this? Yeah, now it works. So you see how small amounts you should use when you use the step event for some features, like I will try with 0.005 to grow faster. Yeah, you can see maybe 0. Sometimes you have to go like this with trial and error. Sometimes you will write down your values. Yeah, it works, that's most important. So it fades in, or for example, if I wanted the opposite effects, so for example my game designer says okay, that looks cool, but I want different stuff. I want the coins to be visible when the game starts, so a player can collect them, but they fade away, they fade out as the time goes by. So when they become fully invisible, they disappear from the screen, so player cannot collect them anymore. So I will start my game with full visibility. That means my alpha will be 1 when my create events run, but then later I will use alpha minus, this time minus 0.0025. So I look at the screen now. Now the coins will start with the full image and disappear slowly. So it's like you have to collect them before they disappear. I didn't add full mechanics here, they're still on the screen. I would have to add more code here, like for example something like when the alpha is 0, if the alpha is 0, destroy the instance, and so on. So you can try that on your own, but the main idea here is how you can use the alpha to change the visibility, and how you can use it in create event to do that one time, or in step event to make some kind of interesting and animations which you can use for your games. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and again, you use all of those blocks only if you need them. If you don't need them for your games, no big deal, who cares, just ignore them. And if you have watched the Scratch tutorials which I made earlier, if you remember those, there is also similar block in Scratch which changes instance and instance alpha, sorry, sprite alpha, and similar to which we have explored in previous videos, like change color in Scratch, change scale, change rotation. So you can see how these engines work more or less the same in some way in terms of features or blocks or code, and that's a good thing because you can switch fast from one to another and find solution for your problems or games faster, and develop some kind of techniques and mechanics so you can dive from one engine to another relatively fast. Okay, that's it this time for real. So see you in next video.